this could get kind of complicated because I don't know. I may have to make a second video. So what this is about is my elektra-beckum Secanta, and elektra-beckum was later sold to Metabo, who continued producing the Secanta for a while. And Secanta is a really weird table saw miter saw hybrid. I'm going to show it to you. This is the Secanta. I got it on the cart to make it easy to move around, not bang up the side. And it's got fold-out legs. I'm going to unfold it. You can use it. You can just put it on a wood table or whatever. How does this work? I haven't done this in a while. You do these legs first. You gotta kind of. I've done it in a while. How's it go? Every time I use this, because I use it so infrequently, I have to figure out how it works. Oh, there we go. There's the hooks. All right. I just want to show you the whole process. I would have set it up first if I didn't want to show you how cool the leg system was, which is a pretty neat idea. They do it that way. How quick that deploys. It's pretty cool. It is heavy. I will tell you that. Well, it's not really heavy. It's made of magnesium. So it's whatever. It's, you know, I don't know if it's strong in aluminum or heavier or whatever. But it's kind of like aluminum, but it's, you know, it's better for something. We make some router bases out of and saw bases out of magnesium. I don't know if it's I don't know what the deal with it is. Maybe it doesn't mark stuff, or when you make stuff from it. I don't know what the deal is. I don't really understand it. It has, you see how it rocks here? It has a leveling leg at the bottom, which, you know, you may have seen on other tools. I don't know, Festool stuff or something. There we go. That's solid. All right. Now, what's cool about this is, all right. So I have dust collection for it, or a dust collection hose, but I'm not sure where it is. It's around here somewhere. This is the side thing that goes on the underside of the carriage, if you've seen these, and it helps with dust collection. The issue with the dust collection is it's some kind of weird European hose size at the back, and it's got different inlets and stuff. I'm not really sure, but what it's designed is it has this dust collection on top, and it's got another dust collection in the bottom. It may even have a third one, but somehow it puts them together. Well, here's the bottom hose, I think. But somehow it puts them together, and the way I got it from a guy, and the reason the guy had it was because he'd got it from a friend of his who was like the distributor or salesman or something for elektra-beckum in the area, which was, you know, West Coast, Southern California, whatever, for the whole region probably. So he had some samples, and he gave it to his friend or sold it to him. And I got it really cheap from the guy, because the guy, I don't know, he wasn't trying to make money on it really. He was just trying to get rid of it and move it along. But it's an amazing saw. It's really an incredible tool. It's just incredibly rare here in the States, and you know, you can find them. But what's cool about it? There you go. It's like that Festool saw that pulls out. So it's like an inverted slide type compound miter saw that way, and it cross cuts to around 12 inches. I don't remember exactly. It tilts as you expect, or there's up and down. The controls are a little bit small, you know, because you got to fit a lot in this area that's got to go. I don't remember. It's got that one loosens that. I forget every time I use it, you know, because it's been so long. But usually, what I use it for is what I've mostly used it for is when I'm have to build a big project and I have a lot of long boards. And since I don't have a proper miter saw and stand for cross-cutting long boards, for just breaking them down to bucking them to size before I mill them and stuff, or bucking them to like overlong, you know, to convenient lengths before I mill them on my joiner and saw and stuff, I do it with this instead of messing around with other methods. And the way I do it with this is I made this, which is something I made from the salvaged from part of a Excalibur, I think, folding miter saw stand. Is it Excalibur? I don't remember. It's kind of expensive. I may put it back together someday by cutting off the welds that I did on this to attach the leg, which I salvaged off another miter saw stand, which was, you know, a rigid one or something like that, which I actually turned into something else to put another portable tool on and cut down and mess around with the welder for that. So I just kind of made this. I didn't really spend any money at all. I just made it from stuff I had on hand, and this is part of this is like, you know, this is kind of a micarta, you know, plastic whatever that stuff is, that countertop material I had, which is machine's pretty good, kind of like aluminum, but it's cheaper or whatever. This is kind of a screw, the only screw that holds it in, you know, it's just something I had. And I just figured out how to do it with like brackets and pieces of metal and stuff like that I had around. And this is the leg off the original miter saw, which actually isn't quite long enough. So I have to put like a 3/4 inch board under it or something like that. And it's got a really nice sliding fence. Let's see if I can install this well enough that you can get the idea. There it goes. That pulls out like that. There we go. Got our leg. And this is actually my version of something they sold. You could buy both a little sliding table for the Secanta in Europe, and you could buy a right side outrigger like this, and maybe even they sold an outfeed table or something. It was separate, or maybe you bought two of the right side ones, and you could use the one as an outrigger. And so I tighten this up if I want to into the casting. And this, I'm not sure if it really turns this way. It might. I don't remember. But if you want to rip, you put the fence on, and I've shown the fence. Let's see if I can get to it in another video. This is the weird fence that it came with. All right. This is my handle that I recently put on it. It's an aluminum gear shift handle that I found. That's the right size. So if you want to put a fence on, but it also works as a miter gauge, right? So this works as the fence. You know, so it's got its own little funky extrusion thing, and this just happens. You know, this is how they did it with this one. You can use it as a miter gauge, like that. So you can put it in the front. So you can put the fence in the front for any kind of cross cutting you want to do, like this. Let's see. You put this in the front, and well, I got to scoot that over like that so it doesn't cut through. And I do that. How's it move? There's something I'm not getting quite right. Maybe. Oh, there's the. There's so many knobs on this thing, you lose track of how it goes. There we go. Right. So say I want to cut. I lock it right there, and I can lock it to any angle I want. So say I want to, you know, say it's got detents on here. Let's see if we can. All right. So that's 30 degrees. It's got detents for that one, and you can do any angle you want. To cross cut my board, say my board's like that. That's within the range of what it can do. And say I you know, turn it on, I pull this forward, and I cut my wood. Right, pretty cool. But in addition to that, it also does another trick, which I'll show you as soon as I figure out how it all works again. So I can do all these things. This thing is like a Swiss Army knife. It's crazy what it does. It also does, let's see if I can make it do it. This it's got all these controls of this thing. There we go. You see that? You see how that goes? And actually, let's take this off so you can see better. I don't hit anything. It's actually like an inverted radial arm saw. And it goes all the way this way, and it goes all the way this way for, oh, my thing's getting in the way. But it can turn actually all the way 90 degrees like this, like the old Norsaws, which came from Norway, the Norwegian Norsaws, which are really cool. And I always wanted one, and that's, I don't know, for some reason I was looking for one, and I found this instead, and I haven't really looked for a Norsaw ever since, but I still want to collect one because I think they're really cool, and I'd like to try one out. And the Norsaws has like it's got a handle, and you pull up the handle. It's like a jump saw that they use in commercial cabinet shops sometimes for real fast and safe cross cutting. Sometimes they have an air thing on them to make it pop up. It's under a guard and everything, so it's totally safe, and it's got like an automated stock pusher stop. It's computerized or whatever. You know, it's pretty cool saws for like industrial production, but you know, the small shops wouldn't be using that stuff because it takes a lot of space, it's expensive. This thing has I can extend this out to really far. I mean, like probably about 8 feet. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see I extended it out, and I have another stop somewhere too. So this isn't perfect, but it allows me to use the saw for what I use it for, which is I take like a like a 10, you know, like a 10, 11, maybe even 12 foot, you know, 8-quarter board. It might do 12 quarters, I'm not sure. 8-quarter rough board. I mark my lines with like a lumber crayon or a piece of chalk. Well, I want it to go, and I break it up into the smaller pieces I want, so then I can bring them into the shop. So I do that like usually like out in the driveway if I'm doing that. And I could do it other ways if I wanted to, but this works. It doesn't take that long to set up, and it's, you know, once it's set up and working right, you can do it actually pretty efficiently and accurately and safely. Let's see. You got to get all these things, all these little knobs have to be just adjusted just right for it to do one thing or the other thing. Now it seems like I have it stuck in the tilt. But the thing about this is, I'm sure you would, if you work with it a lot, you get real quick at changing settings. And anyway, for the kind of woodworking that I do, like I do a lot of, you know, just mostly you're working with the blade at 90 degrees, I'd say. You know, it's not like, but you could use it for trim carpentry, I suppose, or whatever, installing moldy. Oh, there's that one. I know it looks like I'm a clown because I don't understand my own tool, but you gotta understand I don't use it very much. It's kind of a collector item, you know, for me. Oh, there's that one. And it looks, something maybe preventing it from zeroing in. I don't remember which one of these knobs is, you know, not lining up just perfect. It's funny. I should have practiced maybe before so I'd impress you more. But anyway, that's the Secanta, and I actually have a plan. I bought from the Festool Recon site. I got a set of the outside tables, or the side tables for the Festool. What's the fancy Capex? So the fancy Capex. You know, so I got these 2 tables and they're metric, and they have fences on them, right? And those are almost exactly the same height as the Secanta table, whatever it is. You know, so I gotta check those out, and I should be able to maybe add to the feet of those, or put little shims underneath to level it out or something, because those don't have adjustable feet actually, which maybe would be a good thing if they did. And I can put, I could buy Festool extrusions for the MFT3. I could buy a length of that for like $100, cut the little pieces I want and attach to the sides or whatever. Come up with some kind of solution to attach to the sides of this. I don't know if it's going to be a great plan, but that's something I want to try out, a little modification I want to make and see. And then I can put this back into my, I can, you know, take this apart and put it back into my dedicated miter saw stand that I never use. But, you know, those are nice to have, and it's an expensive thing that I bought used. Like today the miter saw stand that I have, it's a cart. It wheels around and it's got fold up sides in the fence, and it sells for about $600, and I bought it for like, you know, $100 used from some guy locally who was selling one. So that, you know, it was, you know, I'm gonna keep it. And you know, when I move to a bigger shop, I'll put a real miter saw on it and use that. And of course, because the wings fold down, you can just put it away when you don't need to wheel it out. So that would be an approach. But I'm not gonna get rid of the Secanta because I really just think it's really awesome. All right, I may make a new video about this when I finally get around to doing the modification with the Festool crosscut wings. But so look forward to that. Maybe I'll I don't know. Maybe I'll try to make the video title kind of different, or put the thing at the end so it links to that.